The preparation of the steel is very important. Most steel work will be prepared and primed at the fabricator's workshop, but this is not essential. The primer manufacturer will have preparation and application instructions. These must be followed at all times. A generic specification is that the steel surface has to be prepared to Class 2 as prescribed in AS 1627 Part 2. This means that the surface must be free of any rust, oil, grease or any other contaminants. Equivalent standards are Swedish standard SIS 050900, BS 7079 Part A1 and ISO 8501.1 to SA 2.5 or ST3. The primer should be applied after cleaning and before any further surface oxidization reoccurs. Application would normally be with spray equipment as recommended by the primer manufacturer or applicator. However, it can be by brush or roller and the thickness should be as per the manufacturer's recommendations, which is generally around 50 microns. Pay particular attention to the edges of the steel. If adjoining surfaces have to be clear of any overspray, masking should be applied. It is important to thoroughly mix the base product before trying to apply, whether by brush, roller or airless spray. Check that the product is free from lumps and is homogeneous. Thinning with clean water is permissible, but to a maximum of 5% by weight. Any thinning of the material will result in the dry film thickness being thinner than normal, and allowances must be made to ensure the final dry film thickness is correct. This will most likely entail an extra coat. Airless spray is the fastest method of application and provides the best surface finish. Equipment with a minimum output pressure of 3000 psi is recommended, with a spray tip size of 21 to 25 thou and a minimum hose diameter of 3/8 of an inch or 10 millimeters. Hose length can be around 30 meters and no more than 40 meters. Screens and filters may need to be removed. Smaller equipment may be used, but it may lead to clogging, loss of pressure and excessive wear and tear on the equipment. Using unthinned product, a skilled applicator can apply up to 1500 micron dry film thickness in one coat, building up this thickness with several passes of the spray. If a smooth architectural finish is required, a dry film thickness of 1000 microns is more realistic, and loadings should be decreased if product slump is an issue. Conventional spray will give around 10% lower applied thickness. It is important to remember that the climatic condition, temperature of the steel itself and applicator's experience will all play an important part in the finish achieved and the speed of application. The thickness of the product applied must be continuously monitored using a wet film gauge. The wet film thickness for the steel section and fire rating required is given in the manufacturer's handbook. A skilled applicator will soon know how many passes of the spray gun will achieve the required thickness and whether or not an accepted finish can be achieved in the one coat or another coat is required after drying. Remember, any thinning of the material will result in the dry film thickness being thinner than normal, and allowances must be made to ensure the final dry film thickness is correct. Application is possible using brush or roller, but it is important to remember that the surface finish may not be acceptable if an architectural exposed surface is required. The thickness achieved with brush and roller application is considerably less than is achievable by spray, maybe as much as 66% less. For internal climate-controlled areas, a top seal is not necessary unless required for aesthetic reasons. For areas which are not climate-controlled or condensation may occur on the coated steel, then 1 or 2 top coats should be applied depending upon the risk level of water or moisture attack. For all external applications, 2 coats of top seal must be applied. Each coat should be around 40 microns dry or 100 microns wet. Clean-up of the Promapaint top seal, like the base coat, is with water.